So hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Tonight we're going to do a review for the Circle NYC Season 3 episode. Oh god, I just finished watching the episode. Jesus fix it. Episode 4, Legendary. So of course we start out with what happened in the last episode. Okay. So disclaimer. So I'm coming off of my birthday weekend. I know I'm behind. I know I have a ton of reviews to do. I apologize. We're going to make this happen as quickly as possible. Okay? Charge it to my head and not my heart. I had a new grandbaby be born, and my birthday, and my other daughter's baby shower. So my life outside of YouTube has been very busy. So bear with me, and we are going to roll right through this. And I'm try and do one more review this evening before I go to bed, because 5 a.m. is early and it's already 10:50. Okay, so we pick up from scenes from the last episode, and when we start, they talked about how they showed the Swanee and Bugs reconciling and squashing the beef that they have, and Bugs talk about, you gonna unblock me, and they hug it out like two grown adults, which is very good. So we then go to, they're having a showcase. Earthtone is having a showcase, or is it Bugs? Y'all, my memory is shit. Not somebody's Meemaw. Bugs has a showcase, and Earthtone performs, and Bugs performs with a young lady. Some little cute little song about body. And Earthtone is performing from his new album. He's performing solo without the group. So the young lady is Mysteria Man-Made, is how I think you pronounce it. And I'm so sorry if I'm just mispronouncing her name. But when I say she get out up on that stage and she stands flat-footed and gives it to the people. Boo Boo gave it to the people. Now, the showcase was hosted by somebody named Jester Grains. Bugs was feeling a little nervous at the beginning, but they got into it, and it seemed like they had a really good turnout, and the showcase, everybody seemed to have a good time, and the performances were really good. The music was really good. Now at the end, I don't know why men think practical jokes are just so funny. So pause. So Bugs just said that Mysteria Man-Made is his mentor, his manager, his all of those things, but I thought he was just interviewing Kevin last episode about managing him and getting him bookings and things of that nature. But maybe whatever, I'm sure there's this it's playing in my ear right now, so this song is on and I feel a twerk in my spirit, so I'm trying to hold it down. And I'm not finna get a strike for playing the music. Let me just sing. Yeah. And it can okay, I'm gonna get my life together. So at the end of the showcase, Earthtone says to Swanee and the rest of his clique that he's gonna go solo, and Swanee was like, "Well, you gonna have to come up off some cash to get out your contract. Otherwise, you stuck, bro. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. We then go to Bhop, who is meeting with a friend of his who has just moved to New York. And so he's talking about oh god, and he's going to he goes to meet, he takes his friend and he goes to meet his best friend who is getting his hair done. He's got some bookings coming up where he's taking an Instagram for somebody's channel for a festival. And a couple other things that are coming up for Slay TV. So he's going to get himself glorified so he can do it appropriately. So we then go to Miss Brian Good. Brian? Why do I want to call him John? That's not his name. Brian Good, and he's having a photo shoot for his podcast with his best friend Yaya and baby girl from Mob Wives. And so they have 3 different looks, like a super casual look, an office casual type of look, a very dressed up glamour sexy shoot, and then where they all half naked. And they seem to, this photo shoot seems to go well, and all the looks seem to be pulled off and executed. Even though Brian Good doesn't think that he is sexy, and I don't. Okay. He just doesn't see himself as that way. So we then go back to Bhop, who is at the hairdresser, and he's talking to his friend about working on Pose, and talk about those Ryan Murphy checks were lovely, but the tax man cometh, and he cometh for them chicks. So we then transition. They show some more shots from the photo shoot. A lot of the stuff was interconnected and intercut, like they were all happening at the same time. We then meet Michelle LaFontaine, who is a drag queen, and she's been a drag queen for the last 9 years. I'm waiting for her this exposure to get her onto RuPaul's Drag Race, because she's serving the freshest of tilapia, and she's super fishy. She's gorgeous. So Bugs pulls up on Michelle to see if she would like to be a part of the talk show Cocktails. And so this is when we find out that Bugs used to walk in the ballrooms, and he has legendary status. And of course, his name is David. That's what his name is. David Boom. Ugh, I knew it would come to me. So, everybody's mentioning David Boom in regards to this cocktail show. So Bugs issues an invitation to Michelle LaFontaine to come in and audition to be a part of the show. And Bugs is like, all I do is extend the invitation. If you, okay, if they want to be a part, then they'll be a part. And if not, then so be it. The show will go on. One monkey doesn't stop no show. So he did ask, okay, so, Michelle LaFontaine is trans. Okay, so he is Legendary Destiny Revlon. I think that's the name of the house. But when he asked her if he was trans, and she's like, yes, I am transitioning. And he was like, oh, I used to do drag. And she was like, oh my God, are you trans? And he was like, no. Those two things are not, mutually exclusive. But he said he walks balls and he has a legendary status. So we then, Bug said he extended the invitation, and again, if you do it, that's good. You niggas keep picking wrong. That's nothing. That's none of my business. But so text me about your terrible date. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. So we go to Mellie B, and who meets this artist Damien. Apparently they had some static on last season where apparently Mellie B got jazzy at the mouth and David took it the wrong way, but they seem to have squashed whatever beef they have. Now, here's my thing. Mellie B is already anticipating that he's going to have static with the new cast. Nobody from the old cast came to this season except him. Now, if you had to fight everybody on the first season, you have to fight everybody on the second season. That's what's coming out of Mellie B's mouth. Not something that I'm putting on him. None of that. This is what's coming from Mellie B. You had to fight everybody on the first season. You had to fight everybody on the second season. And you are anticipating having static with people on this season. Now, here's my issue. After a while, the common denominator for all of this is what? What is the same in all of these situations where you have to fight everybody? I need him to step outside of the picture frame, because I know it's very difficult to do a self-assessment of what is going on when you're inside the frame trying to look at the picture. You don't have a good view. Sometimes you got to step outside, turn around and look at it and see it for what it really is. And I feel like that's what Mellie B need to do. I don't know, but it's early, but that's just what it's getting. So we then go to Kevin is at the studio, and it's the day of the first meeting for Cocktails, the talk show, and where they're going to do auditions and see what they're going to do and try and brainstorm and see what the show is actually going to be and who's going to host and all those good things. So Kevin is there. Bugs shows up, of course. Earthtone shows up, and Bhop shows up. So they're sitting around and having a little conversation, and it's like, well, some people are missing, and he's like, well, who's missing? And he said, well, David Boom is missing, because he was the one who would seem to be leading the charge about the whole cocktail situation to begin with. And so Kevin calls David Boom, and he was like, hey. He was like, yeah, what's up? And he was like, we are waiting on you. We're expecting you. What's happening? And he was like, waiting on me for what? What you mean? I don't understand. And he was like, well, yeah, it's the first meeting for Cocktails, and we were expecting you to be here. He was like, oh, okay, hold on. Bum, 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 bum. And the phone hangs up. Oh. Ooh. That's what we're doing? Okay. Okay, that's what we're doing. So, I don't know what's going to happen from there. In the beginning of this meeting, before Earthtone and Bhop showed up, Bugs Gutter was having a a conversation with Kevin, and he was like, well, I don't feel like you have been doing anything to increase my brand, get me any bookings. He was like, well, I've been trying to get a couple of things for you. There's a couple of interviews that I'm trying to set up, you know, so in a week. He said, you said within 90 days. He's like, but it's been 30 days in a week. So in the next week, I have like a couple things, and I feel like, Bugs is like, yeah, no, I feel like you bullshitting, and I'm not down with none of your shenanigans and foolishness. And you said you talked a big game, but I don't really see you pulling off anything. And then there was an issue where apparently his best friend who was in the documentary, C. Page, was in the documentary about Kevin's life. His name is C. Page. He's apparently, I think he's a singer. I'm sorry, my nose itches. And so he was having a conversation, and apparently he had a personal conversation with Kevin, and said that he wasn't really rocking with Bugs Got a Song late in the nightfall, child. Y'all know the hell I'm talking about. Like, I just finished watching this, people. Then he had the proper conversation with C. Page, and C. Page said he really wasn't fucking with the song. But then C. Page went on social media and was singing the song. And so Kevin wrote up on C. Page. It was like, well, take it down, because we just had a conference. Don't be fake. You know, don't be on social media hyping up the song, but then behind closed doors, you talk dog shit about the song and the artist. Don't do that, because that's my artist. You're my artist. That's not what we're going to do. We're not going to be fake. That's what I got out of the situation. It didn't seem like Bugs was getting the same interpretation of what the information that was being handed to him. I think he wasn't connecting all of the dots. He wasn't. Oh, I'm sorry. He wasn't getting a clear picture of exactly what happened, because he's like, well, why would you have to step to him and tell him, don't boost up my music? And I think he missed the part where he was saying he just didn't want him to be fake about it. Either you fuck with it, or you fuck with it in private and you fuck with it in public. Don't fuck with it in public and then in private be talking trash about it. That's what I got from it. But I don't think that's what Bugs. He just heard you told him to take it down and don't support my music. So they kind of get into when C. Page shows up to audition for Cocktails. Kevin is a little taken aback, because he's like, how you auditioning for a show and you didn't even tell your manager? And he's like, he really didn't have an answer for that. And so he was like, well, you can go ahead and audition. And there seemed to be like a power play back and forth between Bugs and Kevin, and I don't know. And it seemed to be making everybody uncomfortable. Everybody like, what's happening? Bhop is like, well, I'm going to just get my teacup out and sit on down in this corner with a scone and mind my damn business while I catch all of this good tea. But yeah, that's how the episode ended. It was some scenes for the next episode where there seems to be a confrontation between Kevin and David Boone about him not showing up to the audition and first meeting for Cocktails. So yeah, that is all I have for this review recap. The Circle NYC Season 3, Episode 4, Legendary. God, I suck at this. Okay, so, that is all I have for this evening. I will catch you guys in the next one. This stream is 19 minutes long. Praise God. Okay, peace.